I wish I would understand marketing better and the importance of it. Because for myself, when I first started my gym, I thought I was wasting my money spending on marketing. I mean, I'm on the main highway, so what do I need to spend money for? And I never started really marketing heavily until about the last 5 years ago. Now, we've only been in this 2 years, but I've got people that do the technical stuff. I understand that part of it. But that marketing piece has made a big difference in our business.
Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Gym Owners Growth Zone podcast, the show designed to help gym owners improve and grow their businesses. I'm your host, Andres Escobar, and I'm so grateful to have you join us today. In this episode, we're joined by Jeff OMara, a successful entrepreneur and an owner of various locations in different states. And if you have or wish to have various locations, this is the episode to listen to. He's going to share with us his expertise and insights on what it takes to build and grow a successful gym business. Jeff will discuss the importance of creating a solid team and relationship building with members to reach higher levels of success. We'll also dive into the importance of networking and building relationships in your industry and how failure can be a valuable learning experience for entrepreneurs. Finally, Jeff shares his thoughts on the mindset he needed for success and how adopting a positive, growth-minded perspective can help you navigate challenges and changes in the business world. So, whether you're just starting out or looking to take your gym to the next level, you won't want to miss this episode. Let's dive in and learn from Jeff's expertise. If this is your first time listening to our show, please consider subscribing to the podcast and share this episode with someone whom you think will enjoy it. As we dive into this episode, listen to how Jeff started his gym. Hey everybody, welcome to the show, and I want to make sure we welcome our guest, Jeff OMara. Thanks for coming on. It's so good to have you here, finally.
Thanks, Andres. Glad to be here.
Awesome. And, I want to make sure that we get a good grasp of who Jeff is, and if you could give us a little bio, a little synopsis. The feature film is about you. Tell us about how your story is 15 years in the business, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about how you got there and where you are right now.
So I've always been a little bit of an entrepreneur. My father had his own business, and I enjoyed that. Grew up in East Central Indiana in a rural area in a community, and went to the local high school. Didn't make it to college, and kind of learned things the hard way. And so with that being said, I personally was operating a grocery store with BP gas station, frying chicken, everything against what I do now for a living. I was doing the fried foods, all the soft drinks, and a gym come into our local community, and I become a member of that. And when I was becoming a member, I kept looking at the concept, how they were helping people, and I liked that concept of business.
Yeah.
And I found myself with 2 or 3 years later opening up my first gym. I did that then primarily as an investment. And then from there, we moved it into, decided to open a few more. And I currently own and operate 12 gyms in 4 different states. And as we develop this, you have a relationship with friends. We've been in the gym business 15 years and other owners. We started looking at some of our marketing choices for our gyms and felt like a lot of businesses didn't understand what we're looking for. Trying to be coaching clubs, gym memberships, the various ways that you can grow your gym. And so we decided to form a company a couple of years ago by the name of Keep Booked.
Gotcha.
And
so you own gyms, and you also own a marketing company that's helping your gyms, obviously, and some other gyms as well. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. That's so cool. So you own 12 gyms right now at the moment. How did you get to 12 gyms? Like, that's, to me, like you started going to a gym, and 2 years later, like what was that like spark of inspiration? Because a lot of our audience, they have either one gym and they want to have multiple gyms, or they currently have 6 or 7 gyms and they want to get more. So how did you get from from zero to hero, you know?
It's kind of ironic how it works, because I remember when I bought my first one, I'm part of a franchise, and they wanted me to sell a 3-pack. And I'm like, I do not want 3 gyms. I'm going to do one, and luckily I'm going to do that. But 6 months in, I really loved going to work. I was still doing the gas station, dealing with the stress from that, working long hours. When I left the gas station, I was dealing with theft issues. So I just wasn't happy in that current situation in life. And the gym was just a more positive attitude. Wasn't cash. So it was a good business that way. Everything's done EFT.
Right.
So within 6 months, I was looking at gym number 2. And every time I was like, I don't want to do anymore. Just 2. And so I did get to 13 at one time. It was too far away, and I did sell that one. But I just actually bought one yesterday, which will make me at number 12.
Gotcha.
So,
and you mentioned something real interesting. One was too far. So what is too far for you, or what's been your experience with that?
So one thing I have done is I've actually, even though I've got some different states, I have brought partners involved. And so bringing a partner involved, they just care more. They want to make sure, not that in staff, but they make a difference. So I have some people that worked for me 3 or 4 years that I started a new gym and brought them into the fold to own and operate those remotely for me.
Wow.
I may go there once a month or twice a month, but I'm in the gym every day by choice, unless I'm traveling for work or for this. But I am in the gyms. I was in one yesterday and the day before. So I love that part of it. I love still, if someone's sick, I'll go in and work it. I love selling the memberships, answering the phone, just talking and bullshitting with the people, having a good time, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. By the way, if you're trying to get a hold of Jeff, he's probably closing a deal. He'll call you back later. So it's I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That is true. Yeah. I do return calls pretty quickly, but if I'm not picking up, I'm with somebody. Yeah. So that's exactly right. But I love just, I ran into a member the other day. I hadn't seen her in 3 or 4 months, and she had a big transformation. She had lost maybe 25 pounds.
Wow, yeah.
But as we're talking, I said, how is your health? Well, she was on high blood pressure. She's cut that in half, and the diabetes is getting under control. So the health benefits are so crucial in our business. So now as we interject that with marketing, I'm excited where we can take this. Not only marketing for new memberships, but the health benefits of what we can do and help Americans. So it's exciting.
That's huge. I just love that. One thing you mentioned about bringing in partners, and it's not like you're looking for partners. You're looking at your staff, your employees, your contractors, whatever, they're working with you. And you you're giving them the opportunity. Did I read that right? Did I hear that right?
Yes, okay. That is exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, so they do have an opportunity to be part of that business, and then they continue to get that percentage of profits, whatever that may be, in that entity, and they take actually ownership. They run the gyms.
Wow.
And then they have me at their call in any time, shape, or form. So yeah,
I love it, man. Listen, if anyone's looking for a job, reach out to Jeff, because it sounds like a great place to work at. And so tell us again what area. And I know it's actually in Indiana.
It's okay. So I'm in central Indiana,
right.
And then west central Ohio.
Uh-huh.
I do have 4 clubs in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, and 1 just north of Atlanta, Georgia.
Awesome. So, make sure we'll have Jeff's information. Reach out to him if you guys are in that area. And I'm sure he'll love to connect with you guys. So, but let's go ahead. That was a great intro bio. I just thank you so much for that, Jeff. One of the questions that I have that I really love is to ask is, life is a roller coaster. It has ups and downs, lefts and rights, these turns. What has been something in your journey that's helped you stay on track to get you to where you're at right now? Because we want to know the secret sauce. Everybody wants to know, right? Right. So, what would you say would be something that you can share with us?
Well, I have faith in the big man upstairs. So I believe he helps get through the challenges that you go through in this business. And there's some things I've dealt with that I never could have prepared for. Biggest challenge is, other than staffing my own businesses, I actually died in a club 12 years ago. I had sudden cardiac arrest. So from that, not knowing what happened, waking up 3 days later in the hospital, like what just happened to me, finding out what happened, being on life support, that's a big challenge in life, right? But it also gave me determination to get back in the gym, because they told me had I not been an exerciser, I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now. So I feel like he brought me back in a reason to educate people like this is important what we do. Very important to what we do.
Yeah, I think a lot of us listening to you can resonate because this is like one of the passions that why we're in the health industry. I mean, I'm in the software industry, but I surround myself with so many, gym owners and just coaches and just it's my life as well. So I definitely I'm with you, man. I'm 100%. And that's like the challenges and obstacles that we have define us. Will bring up our character, right? And so,
Right.
what has been one of the challenges you had in business? Obviously, you just shared with us something personal, which I want to thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But what's something in business that you had a challenge that you were able to overcome? If you could share with us,
I think the biggest thing I have trouble with business is honestly is staffing.
Yeah.
And getting like-minded individuals, people that truly care. Now, once I find those, I've been very blessed. I had employees been with me 14 years. So they stay with us and we treat them well. But that is the biggest obstacle. I mean, you're worried about the normal business expenses, things breaking. I've had fires. I've had lightning strikes. I've had pipes burst in the middle of the winter when they're frozen. So, I mean, that's part of life. You deal with it and go on. It's a frustration. But getting like-minded people that sit down and truly care about the members, that's what I want. And then when I find the right person, they might not understand training or the qualification, but if they got the passion and caring, I can mold them into the job that we need them to. And so I'm very happy that the majority of the people are like-minded in our organization. So we work on scenarios and role skills and how to help people get better. One of the things I kind of look at them is I want you to pretend like we're Disney World. And people don't want to work out for the majority of the time. So when they walk in our door, I want this to be the happiest place, a happy place for them.
Yeah.
Right. And so I want to make sure my staff is, no matter what they did the night before, they're Cinderella and they're welcoming people to our gym and they're in a good mood. And those members don't want to hear about their problems. Right.
No.
So we want to make for sure that that we're giving them a good experience. We're welcoming, encouraging. If they want to talk, we're here to listen to them and help them about their day.
You know what? I was about to ask you a question, but I think you just answered it. And it has to do what are the qualifications that you look for in a team member before bringing them in? I think that's huge. What's your core values that you say, hey, do you match up with these core values? Yes, no, what is it? So I don't know. What do you have?
That is actually a lot of it. It's amazing the people that will apply for a job because they like to work out in the gym and they think they'll be good at it. Just because you look good in your shirt, that's awesome, but that doesn't mean you're going to be necessarily a good fit to help motivate other people in our position. So that's what I'm looking for, is that caring and that passion every time.
Love it, dude. That's awesome. Man, finding the right seat, or actually the right person in the let me see if I can say this right. Putting the person in the right seat in the bus is super important because that's where they're going to flourish. Obviously, if they're just doing the job for the dollars, it's just not really going to be a long life thing. You're not going to have an opportunity, like Jeff just mentioned. Hey, let's partner up because you're a superstar. You're beyond my wildest dreams of somebody that can really make this club flourish and grow. So, and that's what we want to do, right? We want to grow our business. We want to make sure that there is an impact for the members, for the customers that they're coming through our doors. So that's great. That's great. I love it. Dude. So, fitness has its ups and downs as well, not just us personally, but what would be something in the fitness industry that you say needs to change? In order for us to grow stronger, we might need to take some weeds that are not really helping us grow well, right? Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I love it. Special guest star. What's his name?
This is Dozer. He's 9 months old and he's kind of wants to know what's going on here.
I love it.
Sorry, guys.
Is that from the Matrix, the movie Matrix? Dozer? There was a character named Dozer in the Matrix.
No.
Okay.
No, he's a bulldozer. That's why we come up with the name.
Nice.
He's just and he chews and tears everything else, but he's nosy as heck. So yeah.
Oh, good.
So you want to ask that question
Of
again?
course,
Since
yeah.
we
Let
have
me
a
ask the
little
question again.
interrupted.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so, in your perspective, the fitness industry has its issues, and so what are something that we need to fix in the fitness industry in order to grow stronger? Because just like anything, we need to pull some weeds out so our garden can grow. So, what do you think that is?
I think the biggest thing is we need to educate people the importance of what we're doing for a living. So the reality is we just went through one of the biggest scares in our lives, the last 2 or 3 years, the COVID and the outbreak and the unknowns. Everyone lost someone that you truly care about. Um, but fitness can help with that. It can help fight the natural pathogens of life and maybe save your life. So I think quality of life is part of that as well. So educating people when you're exercising regularly, whether you're at a gym, or you're at home, or you're eating properly, you're going to reduce your high blood pressure. You're going to reduce your cholesterol. You're also going to help reduce the onset of type 2 diabetes, which is one of the most curable diseases in the world, by exercising and eating properly. So I think that the biggest thing we need is how do we educate people on the quality of life that they can have by exercising on a regular basis.
Go is a beautiful word to hear when you're scoring on the soccer field. This last World Cup was won by Argentina because of one important player. Yeah, you got it. It was the goalie. He secured the win for the team, and in the same way, ReviewBiz platform will catch negative reviews before they go online. In addition, it helps you score and promote fresh new reviews so you can crush the competition. So don't let those big box gyms take your clients. ReviewBiz will help you build your online presence and turn your own members into your best sales reps. Get your first 5 reviews for only $1. All you got to do is go to reviewbiz.io/try to get started. Dude, I don't know why, but in my mind, I'm thinking about people like having like heart attacks and things of that nature. And, you don't know when those things are coming, but you can
Right.
reduce by staying in shape and doing those things and stuff. So the one thing I want to make sure that like just make sure that we're not just selling, right? We're the membership, the nutrition, the coaching, make sure that we're educating. It should be priority over getting the sale, right? And making sure that
we send out monthly tips through a text message system.
Yeah.
Things like the importance of sleep, the importance of a dark room, no TV, the importance of water, maybe put a little lemon in your water in the morning and having it right off the bat. Just small health tips that make a difference. So I think and you still need to enjoy life and have some of the desserts and treats in life, but you need to make a conscious effort to eat healthy as well.
I love it. Yeah, that does. It's funny that water habit is so important.
Yeah.
In the morning, people, well, what is the first thing you're doing in the morning, right? And if it's not reaching for a glass of water, it needs to be. It needs to be. You want to hydrate. You haven't drank anything. You're so dehydrated.
Yeah. 6
or 7 hours or 8. I don't know how long you sleep, but that's got to happen. You got to make sure that we're drinking water to make sure that we can fuel the rest of our day and have what we need, the resources to get done what we need to get done. Yeah, that's good. So now I want to make sure we talk about some stories in your life. So maybe even some people that have influenced you in your journey as well. Like, what would be like a person or people that have influenced you in your journey in business as a gym owner?
So actually, Chuck Runyon has been a big influence on me. And so he is the president of Anytime Fitness, which I'm associated with. And prior, as I was growing in the business, when I had 2 or 3 clubs, we were at a seminar, and you were opening up about yourself and your life and your work habits. And I still had a problem being at the club from open to close every day, hands on there. And as I was trying to grow, I was trying to spread myself thinner and thinner. And he's right. He just kind of said, he sat me down. It's like, you're not enjoying life. You're not taking vacation. You're not doing anything fun. You need to work sometimes on your business versus in your business. And we've heard people say that before, but it was something that really resonated with me. And so I made it a point as I come back to try to start doing that. Now, since then, in that last 7-8 years, I have been very blessed and taken more trips and did more things than I thought I ever would have the opportunity to do in my life. So I've been very blessed to have the freedom now to do that. My partners have helped make that possible, as well as my ability to be there to help them remotely as much as possible and be as accessible. But still hands-on, but yet having now the right team with like-mindedness to make me able to be that way.
That's great that you're able to connect with the founder of Anytime Fitness, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I hear good things about him, so I look forward to meeting him one day.
Yeah. My dad, I guess, would be the other person that was a big role model when it comes to business. He taught me a lot of things on customer service, now treat people right. And so followed in those footsteps. I'm very blessed to have him when I was growing up.
I could definitely see that in you, man. That's awesome. That's so cool. So cool. That's great, man. Yeah, so one of the last questions I have before we go into our what we call our Fast Five. So you gotta get your seatbelt put on for that. But this question is: there's something in your life that has inhibited you to move and grow stronger and faster. What would be something that you would say for yourself that you could, I wish I would have just taken that off or done this sooner, so that way I could have just been here sooner and faster, right?
Like, wish I would start earlier in life. That's what I wish I would have done.
Yeah.
So it was like, if I knew now what I could have known then, it would have been so much different. It would have been so much better.
Right.
And where I'd be at today. And again, I'm very blessed to be where I'm at today. But I didn't get in this space till I was 40 years old.
Nice.
And so that's where some of these people, I'm impressed when I go to things, they're in their upper 20s, lower 30s, and already growing. And I'm just so proud to see what they've done and where they're going and their drive. But I wish I could have started earlier with this. But I was at the time, unfortunately, pumping gas and doing what I thought was right. I was providing for my young family. And so I was at the station every day, 7 days a week prior to that. So to do over again, I wish I could have started earlier in this drive.
So started earlier in the fitness business as an owner.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, you basically started in a gym and then like a couple months later said, you know what, let's open up a gym. So you saw it and you knew it, like love at first sight, like let's go. I love it.
Yeah.
So good.
Pretty much.
That's awesome. Okay. That I think everybody should really think about themselves right now. If you're doing the things that you like doing, great, fantastic, run, get there. You're going to accomplish so much more. Obviously, we don't know what tomorrow has to bring. So, got to take advantage, just like Jeff's talking about, like, hey, be in the business, but also on the business, and being on the business, being take care of yourself. And if you're not doing the things you want to do, you got to make sure you're doing those things, because you're not going to be a man of impact. You're not going to be a woman of impact. So make sure that you guys are doing the things that you really are in your genius zone. We talked about this before. Your genius zone, it can only happen and light you up when you love what you're doing. Like Jeff and myself, it's just, you have to do it. So you're holding yourself back from the world. So don't do that. Cool. Let's go into the Fast Five. So you ready?
Bring it on.
I know you're ready. Because you've been doing amazing so far.
Yes, no, yes.
That's it. So here we go. So who has been an influential person or people in your business journey?
Stacy Anderson.
Wow, different person. I thought you were going to use the person you used before, Chuck, or your friend. So Stacy Anderson. Awesome.
Yep.
Do you want to go into it a little bit more? Or
sure, I can.
Yeah. You can. We're good. We're good right now. You've been great. We've been answering it very. It's been a very smooth interview, and I really appreciate it. It's good.
So ironically, Stacy Anderson is the president of our company. I'm not CEO, but what I've been impressed with her is she took over that role maybe 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've watched her humility and try to drive to grow the brand. And there's been some things that there's always some challenges and some naysayers, and trying to get this big ship to churn and convert is hard, but we got to be always evolving, and she's a big part of that. I also watched the vulnerability with all of us when COVID hit. We're on a Zoom meeting and we're shutting our gyms down, and everyone's shutting down, and that's tough. Everyone's scared. How are you going to pay your staff? What are you going to do? And trying to get a plan to help the people reassured, but she didn't know any more than we did, to be honest with you. But her composure and her vulnerability at the same time just totally impressed me. And she's now a close friend, and I would do anything to stand behind and help and support her in any way I could. But she's been a big role.
I think that's awesome.
And inspiration, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes about the benefits of a franchise. When you have a franchise,
yes,
you're not doing this alone. You got people like Stacy and Chuck that can help you and guide you along the way, especially if you're brand new.
And what's amazing, the relationships that I've got there's so many gym owners now that I can call if I'm having questions or frustrated, because no matter how well you're doing, there's days that are pretty tough. And so sometimes you need to be able to talk to somebody in your business. And so having that relationships with other gym owners or other friends is a big key to your growth and success. And also, when you have that, if they do something successful, they're going to share it with you. And again, we're growing for the same one thing, to be successful and be better all the time. So always evolving is a big key to growth.
Growing stronger together. I love it. I love it, dude. All right. So I said fast five, but we sometimes we slow down and smell the flowers, so it's okay. It's all good.
My bad.
No, I it's all good. It's
okay.
It's all within the parameters, so we're all fine. What's one thing? Now this next one I want to ask you is, what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your business?
I wish I would understand marketing better and the importance of it. Because for myself, when I first started my gym, I thought I was wasting my money spending on marketing. I mean, I'm on the main highway, so what do I need to spend money for? And I never started really marketing heavily until about the last 5 years ago. Now, we've only been in this 2 years, but I've got people that do the technical stuff. I understand that part of it. But that marketing piece has made a big difference in our business. Huge.
Wow, that's true. I mean, listen, you believe in it so much, you guys started Keep Booked, and I think that's such a great service for anyone out there looking for marketing for their gyms, and the automations you guys do and all that stuff is fantastic. So it's so good.
Thanks.
Yeah. So now the next one is, what's a book, a blog, a podcast, or even some kind of media you recently consumed that has positively impacted you?
So there's a book called Go for No.
Okay.
That I enjoyed, really, for my staff as well as myself. But we are goal-oriented, whether it be training sales, membership sales, or things like that. And the preface of the book is basically, you maybe have a goal of 25 memberships this week, but you also might have a goal of 100 no's. So with that being said, you're reaching out, setting appointments, trying to get people in your doors, and you might sell out 25 memberships on Thursday, but maybe you've gotten 60 no's. So continue going on until you get another 40 no's, that 100. And what's going to happen is you're going to exceed that goal of 25. Maybe you end up with 35 or 40 memberships, right?
Huh.
Since that's our business. But simple, but it kind of just another way to look at driving and expanding and growing your business and challenging your staff.
So the book is Go for No.
Yes.
Awesome. Love it.
Yep.
All right. Next one is, do you have a favorite online tool?
Google.
Love it.
It's pretty simple. I did.
That's massive.
Yep.
That's massive. Yeah. That's massive. I love it.
Burn it up.
Yeah. It's so many things. They actually have an AI model now as well. So that's definitely, everybody's got to have an AI model, Yep. Cool. What's one habit or practice you believe that everyone would benefit from if they just started it?
Working out.
Working out?
3 days a week.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. It's important. I mean, it's your body, it's your health, it's your life. You buy a car and you maintain it on a regular basis. You change the oil, you change the tires, you put the quality gas into it. But yet the most important motor is your body, and you're not going to invest some time in that. There's a problem. So our health is still the most important thing in the world to any of us. So
I think
working out.
some of us look at it like, oh, it's not broke, why fix it? I'm doing whatever I got. You look at some people like,
Yeah.
Smoke cigars and they're and there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with smoking a cigar every now and then. But if that's like you're like George Burns, I don't know how long you remember George Burns, remember?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, his guy always had a cigar in his head. And he lived to be like 100. I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, that's crazy, wild. And so
Yeah.
so it's interesting, right? Not everybody has amazing genetics like George Burns and stuff. But yeah, and it's but the body sometimes you're right. We need to make sure we treat it rigorously. It's a stoic principle. Just treat it hard, and it's going to give you the benefits later on for sure. Cool. This is truly my favorite question. So we're done with the Fast Five. Last one that I like wrapping up with, Jeff. We're almost at the end. I know, don't cry.
So sad.
So if you could go back in time and share one piece of advice with little Jeff, 10 years old, what would that be?
Wow. That's a tough one.
I know.
Spend more time with your family. If I had to do it over again, I worked a lot of hours in that upper 20s, lower 30s, and missed a lot of family events that I wish I could go back and do over again. So that'd be the biggest one.
Yeah. Nobody at their deathbed wished that I would have worked a little bit more, finished that computer program, right? Everybody, or done that extra thing that I wish I, one more podcast, right? It's just the family. It's so true, man. That's so good. I want to thank you, Jeff, so much for joining us on the podcast. This has been really
thank you.
Opening for us to understand the franchise model. You're a leader in that world, and I really appreciate you jumping here and sharing that little lights that you have to share for us.
Thanks for having me, Andres. I appreciate it.
You got it. My pleasure. See you guys. Wow, what an insightful conversation we had with Jeff OMara today. He shares some incredible tips and strategies for entrepreneurs looking to start or grow their business, including the importance of having a clear vision, the power of networking, and the value of failure. Can't forget that. I hope you found this episode as informative and valuable as I did. If you have any questions or feedback about today's show, feel free to connect with us on Instagram with ReviewBiz or with me at Meet Esco. Also, don't forget to check out reviewbiz.io/QR code. And that's where you get your no-cost custom QR card. By the way, what was your favorite takeaway from the episode? You can connect with me at Meet Esco and share with me a message. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode today. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the show on the platform you're currently listening on. And remember to leave us a rating and review so we can improve the show with your feedback. It would also mean the world to us. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you can do so and you'll get the same great content plus more. As always, thank you so much for your encouragement and for listening to our show. I appreciate you helping us improve the podcast with your comments, because I'll be seeing you next time in the Growth Zone.